I am told that we have been assigned the days of Holy Week and that we are to preach as what happened on the day of that week of Jesus' passion. So come with me, Gospel of Luke, chapter number 22. I'm going to preach from Gospel of Luke and Gospel of Mark and Gospel of Matthew. But I only want to read from the Gospel of Luke. Luke chapter number 22, those first 6 verses. Luke 22, those first 6 verses. I'm reading from the New American Standard Version. I see that it is your custom to stand. Now the feast of unleavened bread, which is called the Passover, was approaching. The chief priests and the scribes were seeking how they might put him to death, for they were afraid of the people. And Satan entered into Judas, who was called Iscariot, belonging to the number of the 12. Judas went away and discussed with the chief priests and officers how he might betray Jesus to them. They were glad and agreed to give him money, so he consented and began seeking a good opportunity to betray Jesus to the chief priests and officers apart from the crowd. You could be seated. If you'll pray, I'll preach, and we can praise God together. I want to label this, let Judas have his day. Let Judas have his day. I want to give you the sermon sentence right out of the gate tonight. If you get this sentence, you'll get everything I have to say to you tonight. You'll get it right out of the gate. Time gives people the opportunity to reveal who they really are. That's my whole sermon. That time gives people the opportunity to reveal who they really are. And just give them a little time. Give them a little time. Give them a little time. Don't be in no hurry. Don't be in no rush. Just give them a little time. They'll show you who they really are. See, we're introduced to Judas in Luke chapter 6, verses 12 through 16. It's a very interesting read, Pastor Lawrence, because verse 12 says that Jesus went up into a mountain to pray, and he prayed all night. Don't run past that. Jesus went into a mountain to pray, and he spent the whole night praying. And the next day he came down out of the mountain and he called the disciples to himself. Simon, who he called Peter, and his brother Andrew, James and John, Philip and Nathaniel or Bartholomew, and you got Simon the Zealot and Alphaeus his boy, and Judas the son of James, and also Judas, who is called Iscariot. Oh, that bothered me. Because after Jesus prayed all night, he still picked a Judas. Y'all not listening to me tonight. I said Jesus prayed all night and still ended up with Judas, and there in the first mention of Judas is listed the one who would betray him. And I want to tell you tonight, I want to give you this caution. I'll be very cautionary tonight. I want to tell you early in this message that you can pray about your relationships and you'll still end up with a Judas. You'll still end up with somebody that'll smile in your face all the time. What are they? Backstabbers. You can pray all night long. Prayed and I prayed. Prayed all night long. Prayed and I prayed. And still got a Judas. And I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this tonight because you don't hear about Judas in the synoptic gospels again until you get to the final week of Jesus' life. For 3.5 years, Judas has been just another face in the crowd. Judas has been just another one in the number. For 3.5 years, when Jesus fed the 5,000, Judas was passing out bread and fish. When Jesus laid hands on them and ordained them for ministry and sent them out 2 by 2 to preach and to heal the sick and to cast the devil out, Judas was right there with hands laid on him, preaching and laying hands and casting out. He'd been there the whole time. Just another face. And that just goes to show you that you never know who Judas is going to be. I wish I had a church tonight. You never know who Judas is going. He's another face in the crowd. Here it is, until opportunity presents itself. He's just another face in the crowd until opportunity presents itself. Because you never know who your friend is until they have an opportunity to be your enemy. Did you hear what I just said? I said you never know who your real friends are until they have an opportunity to get one up on you if they would sell you out. You don't know who your real friends are until they have an opportunity to put their foot on your neck in order to get ahead. You don't know who your friends are. They're just another face in the crowd until the opportunity presents itself. And in the text, the opportunity is that the chief priests and the scribes and the elders have a problem that they can't solve. They're trying to get to Jesus, but they're trying to avoid a riot. See, Jerusalem is up to 4 times overpopulated because every Jewish man from around the world has come to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. And everybody is excited because we're talking about how the Lord brought us out of Egypt and the Lord done carried us through the Red Sea and the Lord done made us who we are. And we're so excited, we're a tinderbox. We'll start fighting over anything. They're scared that if we take their Jesus, it's going to be a riot. And we can't take a riot. So they don't know how to get to Jesus. Until Judas sees his open door and takes his opportunity. Can I tell you a secret? Jesus knew who Judas was from the beginning. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Judas knew just who Judas was from the beginning. Here's the part you don't like, and didn't say nothing. Jesus knew who Judas was and never pointed him out. Jesus knew who Judas was and never deleted him out of his cell phone bank. Jesus knew who Judas was, and Jesus never deleted Judas on Facebook. Jesus knew just who Judas was, and instead of outing Judas, Jesus gave him time. Jesus let Judas sit here for 3.5 years Because if I give him enough time, he's going to reveal himself. If I ain't got to touch him. I ain't got to touch. I ain't got to do nothing with Judas. Just give Judas some time. And Judas is going to show himself. I took 10 minutes. Let me run on. What did time, relevant question, what did time reveal about Judas? Here's number one. Number one. Time revealed Judas's influence. Let the church say influence. Look at your Bible. It's in verse number 3. It's the opening words of verse number 3. And Satan entered Judas. Satan entered Judas. It's a Greek word here that's used in a whole bunch of different contexts. If we were talking about theater, it would mean that Satan made his appearance on stage. If we were in the courtroom, it would be that the bailiff escorted Satan into the courtroom. If we were in the military, we say that Satan invaded the military ranks. But in psychology, it means that Satan took control of Judas's mind. I wish y'all would listen to what I said. When Satan entered Judas, he didn't get a hold of his hands, didn't get hold of his feet. It got up in that mind. Because if you want to know where the devil's going to fight you the most, it ain't going to be with your mouth. It ain't going to be with your hands. It ain't going to be with your feet. The devil's going to get in that space between them two ears, and he going to start talking to you. I wish I had a witness in this room that knows the devil will play tricks on your mind. He's what we call a master manipulator. He knows how to take the facts and twist them to make you look at people cross-eyed that ain't done nothing to you. I can't get no help. He knows how to make you think that an innocent bump walking past you trying to get to a seat in church is somebody trying to tell you they don't like you because he done got hold of your mind. She wasn't even looking at you and you think that she done got a whole attitude because the devil knows how to play tricks. And I'm a witness. If you're not careful, if you don't have on the helmet of salvation, the devil will get a hold of your thoughts. Have you thinking and coming up, you got a whole theory of why they said that you know, and it ain't really even her. It was the one behind her that got her to do, and ain't nobody studying you. And Satan got hold to Judas's mind and influenced him to turn on Jesus. Now, I'm interested in this word, Satan. Who got a hold of his mind? The adversary. The word Satan means adversary, an opposer. You want to know how you know you dealing with somebody under satanic influence? Because they can't get along with nobody. Everybody is a problem. They're adversarial. You said, hey, why you got to say it like that? Satan got hold to their minds. What's wrong with Judas? Satan got hold to his mind. And let me tell you something. Everything that Satan tells you, I don't care how good it sounds, I don't care how much sense it makes, he was a liar from the beginning. Satan is the father of all lies. And if you got it from Satan, he may have took the truth, but he had to twist the truth to tell it to you. Everything come out of that devil's mouth is a lie. And here's Judas, Satan, it took over Judas's mind. And here's the thing. I'm almost at point 2. Jesus knew just who Judas was. I can prove he knew who Judas was. You read over in John chapter 6, around verse number 70, Jesus said, I chose all of y'all, and one of y'all is a devil. Verse 71, he said this, talking about Judas. Now, I told you Satan means adversary, but devil is something else. See, devil is something else. This word devil means he's a false accuser. He's a backbiter. He uses slander. He's given to malicious gossip. Jesus knew from the beginning that Judas ran his mouth too much. I can't get nobody to help me tonight. You got some people in your life right now that you know you can't tell nothing to because their mouth is like a bad refrigerator. Everything in it is going to run out. And Jesus knew from the beginning who Judas was. But you know what he did? He gave him his time. Because he knew if I just give Judas some time, he's going to reveal himself. That's number 1. Let me tell you number 2. Number two. Time revealed Judas's influence. But time revealed Judas's intentions. Let the church say intention. Now, you got to go over to Matthew chapter 26 for this. And Matthew, you can see it right here in Luke, but it's better seen in Matthew 26. Over in Matthew 26, the Bible said that Judas slipped off from the other disciples and eased over to the chief priests and to the soldiers. And he said, now, what will you give me if I betray him to you? If I tell you where you can get him, what I'm going to get. See, you got to know Judas is greedy. Judas is so greedy that Judas will steal to get what he wants. Y'all don't believe me. John chapter 12. Jesus is in the house of Simon the leper. Lazarus has gotten up out of the grave in chapter 11, and they're come to see Lazarus, a living dead man, sitting up in a leper's house. And his sister Mary has gotten her alabaster box with all this spikenard in there, and she comes in and breaks open the box, and she starts pouring this oil on Jesus. And the Bible says, Judas, hey, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What are you doing? What you doing? Don't you know that's 300 denarii? That's a year's wages you pouring on that man, right? What is you doing? Now you got to read John chapter 12, because the very next verse says, it ain't because he worried about no poor folks. It's because he's the one that got the money box. And he been taking money out the treasury the whole time. Judas has been greedy from the beginning. See, you got to pay attention, because you don't want to trust greedy people with your stuff. You don't want to, and greed ain't just money. You don't want to trust greedy people with your stuff. Greedy people will take your man if you let them. Greedy people are going there and sit with you in the choir meeting, and next thing you know, they the president of the choir, because they greedy. They going to take it from you. You don't trust greedy folks. They'll rob you standing there looking you in your face. I wish I had a better sermon. Judas is greedy, and he'll do anything to get what he wants. I'm trying to tell somebody greedy and just got to have it. That's a dangerous man. Greedy, and Lord, don't add jealous. Greedy and jealous. Lord, he'll kill you. He'll kill you. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He'll kill you dead. Yes, he will. You can't trust somebody greedy like that. And Jesus, wait, he knew from the beginning that Judas was greedy. Now watch this. This is good. This is good. You're gonna like this. They say, well, if you can deliver Jesus, we'll give you. This is in Matthew. This is not in Mark or Luke. This is only in Matthew. Matthew said, we'll give you 30 silver shekels. Now, 1 shekel is worth 4 days' wages. So they're really saying that we'll pay you for about, we'll give you about 4 months worth of pay if you hand us over Jesus. Minimum wage right here in Georgia, times 4, times 30. We'll give you right at $7,000 to hand Jesus over. Now, wait a minute. The man that turned water into wine only worth $7,000. The man that healed a woman with the issue of blood only worth $7,000. The same man take 2 fish and 5 barley loaves, $7,000. The one that brought you from where you were, brought you out of darkness into the $7,000. I got a question. How much is he worth for you? What will it take for you to sell Jesus out? Y'all, I know you got the good church answer. No, ain't nothing worth my Jesus until he rubbing on your thigh. Ain't nothing worth my Jesus until they offer you more money on your job if you work on Sunday. How much? I'm just about where I'm going. How much is Jesus? Now, I brought you today. Let me take you back to the Bible day. You got to go to Exodus to find out why this 30 pieces of silver is significant. In the book of Exodus, they said, now, if your slave happened to be out and my ox got loose and stabbed your slave, I'd have to pay you 30 pieces of silver. Are you really trying to tell me that Jesus is only worth a wounded slave? We'll pay you. Exodus 31, 32. We'll pay you if you hand him over. And Jesus knew who Judas was from the beginning. But what did Jesus do? Jesus just gave him his time. He knew he was greedy from the beginning, knew he was a thief but Jesus gave him time, because in time he revealed himself. I got one more. I got to turn over a chapter. I got 6 minutes before I get to where I said I was going to be. Judas reveals his influence. Time reveals Judas's influence. Time reveals Judas's intention. Time, here's the third, reveals Judas's ignorance. Let the church say ignorance. See, you got to go to Matthew 27 for this. Matthew 27, verses 3, 4, and 5. See, Judas didn't expect it to go as far as it went. He really just thought maybe they lock Jesus up, hold him for a few days, and let him go. But these folks that ain't what they doing. They done took Jesus to court in the middle of the night. And they condemned Jesus to death. Wait, ain't nobody said nothing about killing Jesus. Y'all just said hand him over. And Matthew 27 says that when Judas found out that they have condemned Jesus to die, King James, he repented himself. New American Standard, he felt remorse in his heart. Comes from a Greek word which means that he started feeling sorry. He felt sorry. He regretted what he did. He started having second thoughts. Here's what it means. It means that you wish things would have went another way. Now let me pause and talk to Judas for a minute. Judas, you may not want to let your private ambition or your secret animosity drive you to do something that you won't be able to live with yourself after you do it. Now, y'all think I'm talking to Judas in the Bible. No, I'm talking to the Judas sitting in your seat. Because you can get so mad at your sister that you say something ugly that you can't take back. And now you can't live with yourself because of what you did out of private ambition and secret animosity. See, here's the truth. Judas's vices have been here all along. He's been a liar the whole time. He's been a gossip the whole time. He's been greedy the whole time. He's been a thief the whole time. But let me tell you something about your vices. If you just give it time, they're going to catch up with you. Oh, I wish I had a witness in this room. I'm finna stop, but I need a witness in this room that some of that dirt you did done caught up to you before. Okay, y'all don't want to be honest. Some of that stuff I did, some of that stuff I said when I thought wasn't nobody looking and listening, walked back up and said hey to me in the living room, because that stuff that's in you for real, sooner or later, one way or another, it'll catch up with you, and you won't be able to undo what you did. Watch this. Judas said, listen, I don't want to have no parts with it. Listen, I thought Jesus was just worth $7,000. But listen, y'all take y'all money back. Y'all get y'all money. I don't want y'all money. They want to take it. Y'all ain't got to take it. He threw the money in there in the sanctuary. They threw the money in the church. And he ran out, hard, heavy, with guilt, because time had finally revealed who he really was. Now, here's the relevant question. I've been preaching the whole sermon to get to this question. 2 minutes. Whole sermon to get to this question. How could Jesus give Judas so much time, knowing what was going on the whole time? I don't know if I could have held that. I don't know if I could have held that. 3 years. I got a liar riding with me everywhere I go, and I ain't saying nothing. I ain't outed him. I know he taking my money. And he taking my money. He is taking my money. And I ain't revealed him 3.5 years. You're not going to find the answer in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You're going to find the answer in 1 Peter chapter number 2. Now Peter is summarizing what happened in the passion of Jesus. And he says, while he was reviled, he didn't say anything. He knew what was going on and still held his mouth. Why? Because he kept trusting himself to the one who would judge righteously. If I was in church, this is where we all get happy. I said that the reason Jesus could hold his mouth is because he knew there was a player who wasn't talking involved in the story. That the main character of the story is a silent character. That is really God moving the pieces around. God is really moving the pieces around. He's in control, and he's just setting me up to do what he really made me to do in the first place. That's why I can be quiet, because you may betray me, but you can't stop me. Say whatever you want to say about me, but you can't block what God has for me. Sell me out if you want to. But when you finish counting your money, God's going to turn this thing around. And I'm going to win in the end. I'm out of time. I'm closing my Bible. I'm out of time. Can I tell you, I'm actually in overtime, Gruder. I'm in overtime. I'm in OT. I put my notes away. Can I tell you why you ought to trust God through the process? Why you ought to just hold your peace until Judas reveals himself? Because if you just give him time, Judas will hang himself. Matthew 27 verse 5 says that Judas went out and hung himself. Jesus still ain't said a word. Because if you trust God, God knows how to handle your enemies. Woo! I say if you just trust God, God knows how to make no weapon formed against you prosper. Every tongue that rises against you be condemned. I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to fret yourself over the evildoer, and you don't have to be envious of the work of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass. They'll soon wither away like the green herb. I've been young. I'm stopping. I ain't got no holler in me. I said, I've been young, and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I've never seen his seed beg bread. So what you ought to do is hold on and let God do what he's doing. Hold on and let God work that thing out. Let the naysayers say what they want to say. Let the betrayers betray. Let the deniers deny. Let the deserters desert. But you just hold on. Because if you hold on just a little while, Sunday is soon to come. If you can just hold on to God's unchanging hand. If you can just hold on through Thursday. If you can just hold on through unjust courts. If you can just hold on through being whipped all night long. If you can just hold on to being nailed to a cross. If you can just hold on to 72 thorns in your brow. If you can just hold on to being stretched wide, dropped low, lifted high. If you can just hold on to dropping your head in the locks of your shoulder. If you can just hold on to 3 nights in a grave. Early Sunday morning, it'll be worth it all. You'll get up, with the victory. And I just want to tell somebody that you ought to hold to his hand, God's unchanging hand. Build your hopes. Yeah! Build your hopes on things eternal and hold on. Can I tell you why you ought to hold on? Anybody interested in why you ought to hold on? Because weeping may endure for a night, but joy, I need a witness in this room. I said joy comes in the morning. Ain't he all right? I said, ain't he all right? Anybody tried it?